Alright, it's Jared here from Crypto Plan. How's everyone going? I hope you're well. I know I am. It feels like the dust has settled. It feels like the dust has settled in the crypto market. Does it feel like that to you? Does it feel like Bitcoin's kind of, the scary moment's over? Does it feel like, the bottom's in, the V-bottom recovery's happening? I do. And that's why we're going to look at the ICP chart. We're going to look at the ICP chart on the 4-hour time frame, but we're still going to have an air of caution. So I'm going to talk about what I'm seeing, on the bullish side and on the bearish side, but, long-term bullish, long-term long on this particular coin. But before we get into that, please like the video, please subscribe to the channel so that more people can see this that are invested in ICP, and notification bell too if you desire. All right, so you can see I've got a few little setups here, a few indicators just to see, to paint a picture, right? Mainly, I want you to draw your attention to the triangle. So, if let's say this project had been in a bull run, or been listed earlier and it was rising in price into this sort of a triangle action, I would say definitely it's going to break out, and for those that have followed me for a while, this is the sort of pattern that I like playing, buying here for the breakout to the upside. But I can't guarantee this is going to be the case for this one because it has come downwards into it. So there's been a big sell-off into it. Yes, we've had a bounce and so we've got to remember we've dipped as low as 91 US dollars. When it dipped again to, just near 100 there, the buyers came in strong, so the next kind of 8 hours or so ensued and a lot of volume went in on this particular exchange anyway, and I assume it's on most exchanges. So the market's telling us where the bottom is, but then the reality is that once it spiked back up there, maybe a few people that got bored or bought in early said, "Oh, I'm nearly breaking even. I'll sell out again," or whatever it is. Even if it's whales going, sell out, buy back in, sell out again, buy back in, and just profit out of, taking profits and keeping the same amount of tokens they have from those early investment days. So there's a whole bunch of that going on, I can see. But the beautiful thing is, regardless of what happens, this accumulation pattern to me is bullish, as in there's a fight going on. We love to see, a fight going on and grinding into a corner, because that means that, I guess, the trading is exhausted, the kind of, the fight between bulls and bears is nearly over, right? So it's got to break out one way or another. Now, I'm going to outline the bullish case first, because I know that's what I want and I know that's what we want to hear. So, the bullish case would be that we've come in and we've kind of hit in here, bounced off a couple of times off this triangle, which is exactly what we want to see. And then we just fly on out of there, right? So that would be kind of pretty much a V pattern of sorts, V with a bit of a correction and then a pattern out of there, right? So that's one thing I'm looking at. Now, the other thing I'm looking at is that this low here could potentially turn out to be a double bottom over here and then kind of fly out of there. So it's the same long-term result. It's just that we might see one more dip. So for those with dry powder on the side, there could be another opportunity. I'm not saying there will be another opportunity, but if you do have dry powder and you've got some and you want a dollar cost average down, there could be an opportunity. So what I would be seeing there is one of two cases. So it's come down here, bottomed, and then kind of, doing our like that, and then bottoming again quickly, and then kind of firing out of there. Similar to what I've been showing you on longer term, charts where, double bottom doing the kind of the W shape or the M, W with an M dip in the middle. So that's one option. Or there is other options, that, the whole altcoin market continues to go sideways, with kind of fluctuations, and it just kind of ranges where, it might fake out here, break back down, kind of, try and break up, pull back down, pull lower, and then kind of moves its way up. So there is that third option where, there's a lot more sideways action, but I really do feel this thing is oversold and it's due for longer term and upside correction. It's just that, the bullish case I have is that potentially one big dip which promotes a big, buying event as well. So let's delete that off the screen. Regardless of what does happen, there's some other things that I'm looking at which kind of slightly agree with the bull case. So we've got this triangle pattern forming out here, right? Volume is also doing the similar triangle pattern, right? So volume is decreasing while price has been grinding into this corner. So there's no divergence there. There's nothing that's telling me otherwise that, if red volume was coming in while the selling was coming in, then there's definitely going to be some big sell-offs coming in. Or, if this was kind of kicking up in the red way, where every day was slightly red and things were a little bit weirder, I would say that there was more likely chance of further downside, but that's not happening. The stochastic RSI, I'm on the fence because it showed a bottoming there, which was a beginning or a kind of a real bottom. But since then, it's kind of declining and a bit all over the shop. Yes, there's that little kick up recently, but it could just as easily go down because it's in the middle. I'm on the fence there. That's what kind of this indicator makes me think that is it going to do one more of these big bottoming things. So once again, kind of going with that theory of creating that W bottom or the WM bottom kind of situation. But then you go down to the RSI and you just have a kind of nice gentle uptrend. So, is that the one we go by? So that's why I'm staying open and I'm not expecting anything to happen like overnight super quickly. But I do feel like whatever happens, any dips are buying opportunities, right? Because, we've seen that when it gets down to 100 or 90, buyers are coming in. So there's good buying pressure coming in sub 120. So, we definitely have a kind of a range there that when it dips below, people want to buy it. And then we've also got that level where people want to get out as well. So we just need to be aware of that. Hopefully this action here has solved all those problems, as in, scared people have got out, people that just weren't quite sure have got out, people have taken losses, people have bought in, to dollar cost average or whatever. So hopefully the market has got to a point where it's kind of nearly a clean slate, we're still aware that there's whales out there that have bags that they're probably going to try and release into the market. But on the other hand, we're at price levels that are oversold, that are cheap, compared to, what people bought up here. So potentially, we're going to start working our way out of there. So what do I want to see? I guess, if we kind of go and grab our trend angle and just see that 59% there, and, whenever it is, let's even just be a little bit conservative. I'd want to see all-time highs, 500, 600 being pushed midway through June, like this kind of thing plays out, whichever way it goes, a bit of a dip, bit of a pullback, or even if it just starts going to the upside. I want to kind of see that, by, mid-June that the price has ground its way up, because there's not many resistance levels. I think once we clear 200, we're back to 300, and then once we clear 300, we're moving, because this was just a cliff edge. It was like falling, consolidation, falling, consolidation, falling, and then now we've just developed a strong region of volume, which is peaking at 140. So definitely we need to start closing candles above 140. 141 there, sorry, which is the volume defined node, and then ideally 160, getting above that, and then ideally up in the 200s. To really kind of get out of these resistance base zones. So that's what I'm seeing for ICP. I hope that's helped you. I hope that you can get something out of this and make some decisions. Like personally, I I own 2 of the tokens. I'm holding those 2 tokens. I'm holding those 2 tokens for the end, end of the bull run upside. It was a small trade for me. It was just like, see what happens with this one. If I can turn my 300 or 400 quid or whatever it's cost me to buy them into a couple of grand, then so be it. Like that's a bit of extra pocket money on the top. So I don't know about you all, people are saying they have more or less. Either way, you need to decide based on your own kind of risk tolerance, whether you're buying, holding, dollar cost averaging, selling to buy back in later, whatever it is. I can't give you the actual crystal ball. I can only see what I see, and that is upside potential long term, potential for a dip in the short term. But either way, the prices right now, if you don't own it, it's not ridiculous to think about getting in here and seeing some downside potential and dollar cost averaging in, because we're so low on this chart compared to where we've been, right? So there is a lot more upside than there is downside. So the trade is overall asymmetrical. The trade is overall kind of, we're below a third of the bottom. We're in the bottom third, so the top 2/3 of this move is all upside to us, whereas there might be a bit of a pullback. That's crypto. Understanding that you can buy something, it dips by 50%, and the next day it's up 100%, and so you're back to where you were, and you've seen that in the charts, in all the cryptos. So this is a normal thing to be happening. All right, I've been Jared. This has been Crypto Plan. Please like the video. Please subscribe to the channel and click that notification bell too. I look forward to seeing you on the next one. Bye now.